Okay, today we're going to talk with Lorrie and Diane. Both girls are Nietzschemans when as maiden names, but we're going to talk to them about their mom and dad coming from Germany and some of the memories they have of living in Nipigon as children and with a big family. So first of all, then, just tell us about your mom and dad coming here with the family. And
Okay. You go ahead. You go first.
okay, Mom, this is the boat that they came, a ship, sorry, not a boat, a ship that they came over from Germany on. Okay,
Yes.
Lorrie.
So my brother and sister, I have Marion and Hans, they were born in Germany, and Dad came on the ship first a year before, and then a year later, our mom and Hans and Marion came on that same ship the following year. We lived at Everettville, where Diane, Larry, and myself was born. And then we moved to Newton Street, where Roy and Rosie were born.
So you had a family of
Seven.
seven children.
Seven children.
Okay.
But there were extras, but they didn't survive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
there would have been at least
10 kids.
10 kids.
Okay. So anyway, you had a big family
Yeah, oh,
Big
yes.
family.
when you came here, right?
Yes.
This would be early 60s.
And the reason why we came to Nipigon is because our father was prisoner of war at Camp 81. And he was treated so well, and he liked it here, that when he went back to Germany, he met our mom, and they got married and had the kids, had the two. Then he decided, we're going to go to Nipigon.
Wow.
So he came here and got a job working at the
Plywood mill.
plywood mill. And he sent for Mom the year later, and she came with Hans and Marion on the ship.
But before that all happened, before they arrived here, especially my mother was married before. She had one child, and it was a little girl. And at that time, I think it was the Polish people and that. Russian, I'm sorry. And they had built a big hole, and my mom was walking the little girl in the carriage, and they thought that she was Jews or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but they took the child in the carriage and threw it in the fire pit with all the other kids and families.
Wow.
And that really, all these years, even when she moved back to Nipigon, she was glad to get away from there. And her husband got killed and that, and then she met my husband and everything like that. But then she was happy to move down here. But every time when we talked about a child dying or something like that, it really, really hurted her.
Right.
Yes.
We have a couple of pictures of their mom and nice pictures.
I think she was 16 there.
Nice pictures.
16 or 18.
Yeah,
And this was a little older.
yeah.
That's going to be
And
that's
Dad
going to be
was-
blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was at the years
That was
on.
in there in 1981.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was 33 or 30 something.
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
1981. Mom, yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
didn't
that's when they were
realize-
married. Dad was,
Yeah.
when they got married, Mom was 22 and Dad was 33.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah.
Okay, so your dad worked at the plywood mill. Did your mom ever work then when she was
No,
here?
no.
Because you had a big family.
Yeah. She couldn't even open the door because of, she was kind of scared, and my dad said, no one
In the house.
in the house while I'm at
Oh.
work, and the kids were at school.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he was really a little bit on the strict side.
Right.
And well, a little more on the strict side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's better than being too lax sometimes.
Yes,
Diane.
but we learned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
We learned. I mean, look, we're not in jail. We are not criminals or anything like that. So, I mean, it was.
So how long would you have lived in Everettville?
Oh my God. Okay.
I was 6 months old when we moved to
Yeah.
the thing,
Yeah.
so
Okay, 6
we're
months.
3 years apart.
Yeah, so
So
well, you could say about 4 years.
Okay, okay.
4 years. You could
That's
say.
interesting because we've talked to other people who got their start with a house in Everettville until they were able
Yeah.
to move out. So I say we always have to thank Everett
Yeah.
for ending up with all
Yes.
those houses there. That
But the lot that my dad bought down on Newton Street, he only paid $250, but there was no house.
right.
So they had to build a house. And it was a small house, but I mean, it was suitable. And we had one bedroom it was made like a living room bedroom. That was my parents' room. The bathroom was near to it. Then we had the kitchen, and then we had the girls' room that had bunk beds. Rosie slept in the crib until she was almost 4 years old. And then we pushed her on Marion. She slept with me
yeah, we
on the
slept
top
together.
bunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the boys, Roy, when he come in the door, there was one bunk bed for the boys. Hans was on top, and Larry and Roy were on the bottom.
Yeah.
And I always protected Hans when he came in, when he wanted to stay out longer.
So I often go by there though and think your dad would be blown away by the way that place has been renovated.
Yeah.
And also the fact no trains going by in the back.
It seems strange. It really seems strange that there is no train
trains.
anymore.
No.
Because I was often thinking you must have heard trains all of the time.
My mom would have cried to see what that place looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always wanted
Yeah,
Yeah.
wanted a nicer
even
place.
when the people that bought the place and renovated it and everything before that, and then when I moved down here with Bob, we fixed it up. My dad liked it, but my mom would have liked it too because it was opened up and everything
Right,
like that.
right.
And we had a shower and everything because we had to have a little bathtub, a little tub.
A basin sort of thing
Yeah.
that we had to wash, wash.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my parents were particular. We had to wash, and even for our hair, we had to put Dettol to not to get lice. We never had lice.
We always heard, and still today we hear about all this lice going
Yeah.
around at the school, and never once in our life did we have any of that.
But people are misconception of lice. It's nothing to do with dirty
No,
hair.
no, it's
a
clean.
lot of it is to do with the heat.
Yeah.
Oh,
And once it starts, it's looking for warm places to incubate, and so it gets into hair. But people, I think, had the wrong impression.
Oh.
Yeah, I could remember having my head scrubbed with some horrible smelling stuff as a kid too. But
Yeah.
no, you hear about it, but we don't see it as much. I mean, remember the nurse would be there nitpicking.
I saw it for the first time in my life because my granddaughter had it. 'Cause I came home from school with it, and I saw for the first time in my life. I'm 65, and I finally saw what it looked like. What they're
I
talking
still
about,
don't
what
know
lice
what
look.
they look like.
It creeps me right out.
Yeah,
And for the food, my mom had 2 freezers. First one big one, and then later on she had to buy another one. And they used to buy a half a beef every so long. And I remember the bread guy, he used to come with a rack like that, all these racks with about 25, 30 loaves of bread. And we couldn't have lunch at school unless they had a doctor's appointment or that. And we walked from Newton Street all the way to the public school, and we had to come home for lunch.
Yeah.
Everything was ready on the table. At a certain time, we had to go all the way back to school and all the way back. Were you my teacher one time?
No, I was Marion's teacher,
Yeah.
but I might have. I did
don't
lots
think
of
so.
supply teaching. I don't know, but I often think of that because I remember when they decided somebody needed to get bused to Greenmantle. After school, they'd be walking back and
Yeah.
forth, but to come to school, they couldn't
Yeah.
walk. But you're right; lots of people had a lot of walking to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. There was
in
no
your time
bus.
from down there.
Yeah, there was
right?
no buses
Right.
or anything. I even got 2 black eyes from a dog going cutting through a yard, and the dog. I love animals.
I told her, don't go through there.
And the dog right in my eyes.
Oh,
Had 2 black eyes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
so
I
when
sure-
you're talking about food like that, did your mama have a garden?
Yes, all the way from the front
Of the
yard, all the way to the back, even in the CN yard, they told us we could have it, and then around
Use it,
our outdoor toilet, we had the outdoor toilet, and then around, and then all the way in the back. And then when we got home from school, we had to eat or have our supper, Instead of playing around with other kids, we had to go in the garden, start weeding. We started weeding on the top from the road, right up by the thing, all the way back, all the way on the side, and then back of the house. And then by the time we got all that done, we had to start all over again. But we all took turns of doing that, and then doing dishes every week, and
Right.
yeah, we had to put our share
Lots of chores to do.
We had chores to do.
Our summers was gardening and weeding.
Yeah.
Everybody else was going on holidays.
Did you ever sell some of your produce? Because somebody
We never-
commented to me that they thought you sold string beans at one time.
That I've never saw my mom do, because she used to pickle them.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she did a lot of pickling. Like, oh my God! And the potatoes, it helped a lot because those potatoes sometimes they didn't even last the whole winter because with a big family,
Right.
couldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. But when I moved down there, when I moved back from Montreal, I made a garden, a big garden, and it was good. And sometimes I had too many stuff just for two people. Or when my dad was still alive, I used to pass them out to neighbors like Maria and
Right.
to my
Yeah.
sisters and brothers and that. And I still do it at the
Right.
other place now.
Right.
But I do them in the box.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
smaller boxes,
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
it's contained.
Yeah, yeah.
So, how good is your memory about some of the people that taught you in school?
Oh, Mr. O'Neill. Well, you didn't. I remember Mr. O'Neill, the principal. Every time I see his son there, he reminds me of George. And I see him in the showcase too. I see him every day. I think of that. And I remember Mr. Chase, Mr. Frankham. I had him.
Did you have Tony Peel?
Yes. No.
Oh.
I never had him. And then I had Mr. Taylor.
Yep.
Shalander. I didn't have Mrs. Shalander.
I had Mrs. Schlander. I had
I never had you.
Mrs. Clearwater. I had Mrs. Nyman. I had Mr. Frankham, Mr. Chase.
Oh, you've got good memories then.
Did you go to kindergarten?
Yes.
Oh, see, I didn't. I lost a year because I started school when I was almost 6 because my
Right.
birthday's in March.
Well, I started at 6 too.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
because there was no kindergarten when I went.
Right.
I went straight to 1. And on top of it, most of us had to repeat grade 1 because at home we could only speak German. And our English was very bad. So,
Yes.
and then
I was
our
6 when I
homework
went to kindergarten.
and everything, we couldn't ask for help.
Oh, because they didn't speak English.
Yeah.
yeah.
And yet my dad read the newspaper.
Right.
But he could only read that.
Pick up words and
Yeah.
I guess
my
make-
mom had the English-German dictionary, but that didn't help. It was mostly for medicine
Right.
because she was a nurse and
Right.
she did a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If it wasn't for Marion and Hans going to school before us, helped us with our homework
Yeah,
and with
right.
the English, that's where a lot of the English really came
Yeah.
into the house was through Hans and Marion.
Right, right.
And then you went to school and helped us, and then
I had to watch her every time when I come home from school with her because she used to walking into parking meters twice.
Busy looking at something else.
Yeah.
too busy reading or
oh.
not paying attention.
Yeah, my mom is, what's that big bump in that? My mom take a knife and press it down again because she was a nurse and that's how they did in those days.
Yeah, they
eh?
pressed it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was okay.
No.
She's not very lucky in that.
And I'm just thinking, because you see your granddaughter going to school at 4.
Yes.
What a change even from then, eh? And
Yeah.
I mean, they never thought about children going really young
No,
like that.
not at that age.
No,
No,
no.
I says we were only 6. I was 6 years old when I went to school. Now they're 4. They're not. Sometimes they're 3.
still
They're 3, almost 4.
yeah.
By the time they go to school, I says, "You are going to school a lot earlier than we did." And I says, "Charlotte, this is the same school I went to when I was little. And she is just blown away. What? You went to school here too? I says, yes. And your dad, my son, went to school here, and now you're going to school here.
That's cool for her.
Yes.
Because when we went to school, we had to know how to tie our shoelaces and use a scissor properly.
Right.
And I think that was it.
Is
But
there-
today,
I'd like you to do your own buttons up too.
Yes,
and
yes,
your
that
zippers.
too, yes,
Diane.
Yeah,
yes.
zippers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
but today, they don't learn
They're
that.
too young.
Yeah.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they learn fast, Lori.
Yes.
Oh
they
yeah,
do.
today,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Charlotte might be 4 years old, but she's got a mind of like I'm talking to an adult.
Yeah.
But she blows me away. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been here, Mrs. Clearwater?
1959 I came.
Oh, okay.
So, long time. Yeah. But one of the other questions that Miss Brill asked was, can you remember types of games you would have played at school?
Oh yeah.
Or did you play games at school?
Yes, yes. We used to play Ring Around the Rosie or hopscotch. I don't know what they call. They call them probably different today.
Yeah, hopscotch. Yeah.
Yeah, ring around.
Marbles.
Marbles.
Right?
Yeah.
And the games that we used to play at home with our brothers was
Yeah.
Cowboys and Indians.
Yes.
And
Oh,
kind of-
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
And then tag, because we used to have the big square thing that the CN used to, and they had 4 big blocks. And we used to, the one in the middle had to touch one, or that if they fell off, or that they were it, and everything like that. And then we used to go a lot on the
Road hockey.
Yeah, yeah,
you?
yeah,
we played-
yeah,
Oh yeah. Baseball.
yeah.
We got our even our own team. So we play sometimes against what's the on Park Road? What's Plemmels?
Plemmels.
Yeah, because that was a
Oh,
big,
yeah.
yeah. And sometimes some of the Burbies.
Berries, yeah.
Yeah, because they lived across the street from us too.
Right.
Yeah, there was quite a few of them that we had teams with and everything.
Right.
It was really, and then
Yeah, well, there was a lot of children in that part of town.
oh yes,
In those days, too, eh? Too.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Westerners,
And
bakers.
then at Christmas time, we used to have a big meal. That was more important than gifts, really.
Yeah.
We all got one gift. Boys would get a truck or a sweater. The girls would get a doll or a sweater.
Yeah, and I still got my doll.
And I still got mine too.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
and when we were young.
My mom knitted and
Yeah.
dressed them up and gave it
Yeah.
each one of us.
Yeah.
Each one, so that we can take it and do what we want if we want to pass it on to our grandkids.
Yeah.
And that's what
Right.
I'm going to do.
So your mom was a knitter.
A knitter.
Yeah,
Yeah. And lots of people knit in those days, so it provided clothing then for you as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's wind up that first part then.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just asking the girls about where their dad was employed when then he worked where? At Domtar?
Domtar. Yeah, he worked at Domtar. And then when Hans and Marion got older, Hans worked there for a little bit. Marion worked there for a year. But Roy is the one that's been worked there the longest. He worked there 30.
at the plywood down here.
Yeah, the
At the
plywood
plywood mill.
mill for 33 years, and that's when the fire.
Oh, right.
And I worked there 7 years before it burnt down. And Larry worked at Domtar,
Oh yeah, quite a few years too.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I
And
know Larry.
Hans
27 something years
Hans worked at the bridge.
also.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he?
Yeah, he helped renovate the bridge because there was problems with it.
Right.
Yeah, he helped the bridge, and then he worked on the CN too for a bit,
Okay.
and then he got involved with the Jovo. And
Right. Yeah,
And
there was
he-
lots of jobs to change
Oh, yeah.
in those days too, but
Yeah.
Plywood
But then-
Mill was a major employer
yeah.
here.
Oh yes.
Then he went to Toronto, and he was a carpenter for
that
a while.
Hans?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And now he's in Belleville, and he had his own job, Handy Hands. He had his own vehicle, and he would go to different offices and places, do windows, clean offices, and he finally retired this year because he got arthritis really bad. So he sold his company to this guy that he trained,
Good for him.
Yeah, I just only found out that a couple of days ago when he called me up to tell me that he's not working anymore. He had to sell his business.
So he just was a handy man,
Yes,
which is what
yeah.
people need today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
I worked at the Liberty restaurant in Mary Vavone. I even stayed there.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when I was about 15, not even 15, 14, well, 14 years old, because I had trouble at the high school, and I wanted to leave Nipigon. And because I was so disappointed at the high school, I walked out and walked the train all the way home. Yeah, I was so. My mom and dad said, "You're going?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm leaving here too." So I went and talked to Mary Vavone. She says, "Yeah, you could have a room upstairs. I'll take so much off, thing, and you could work, and we're going to keep an eye on you." So I saved enough money in that. I took the train, the Via train,
Right.
and I said bye to everybody.
And
At
you went
50,
to Montreal.
Yes, and I stayed. And would you believe that wasn't hard to get a job there? I was there not even a week.
And this is in Montreal.
Yes, I got a place, a room, just for a couple of days till I got my own place, and I got a job. I went to the unemployment, and I didn't know. I used the French here. That was not very good.
It's not the same French as
No. No.
the French that we
It's
learned at
Parisian.
school is the Parisian French from France, but the school,
Yeah.
Montreal is a slang French.
Yeah.
No.
And so then I got enough money. I started to work there, and I was there for quite a few years.
25 years.
Or even more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I only came home to Nipigon only on holidays or weddings. But then I got married, and my mom passed away in 88, and we got married in 89. And my dad couldn't be by himself, so and the kids were all growing up on their own. So we said we're going to move to Nipigon. And he liked the hunting and fishing here,
Right,
so bad
right.
thing.
Right.
So then we moved down here, and I'm still here from 1990. And I 32 years I was gone.
So in all those 32 years, you worked several different places in
No.
Montreal? The same place?
Same place like I did this year at St. Ed's. I was there 25 years too.
Right.
And I worked in the same place, Alexia Neon Plaza, for all those years.
Oh, wow. I forgot now you were noon hour supervisor at St. Anne's.
Yeah, also,
all those years. And
You were the
custodian, too.
custodian.
Yeah,
Custodian,
Yeah.
right. Custodian
Yeah.
over there.
And even my partner's passed away, Carmelita.
Yes.
I was shocked.
Yeah, she was there for a long time, too.
Yeah.
Right. The two of you, I forgot.
Yeah.
Right, right.
But now I'm retired, and I says, no, it's so long and that. And I says, oh, I'm going to go do lunch supervision. They wanted me to go back as a custodian part-time. I said, no, that's too heavy, bad for my arthritis. So St. Ed's would call me once in a while, and I said, I can't take that. I'm not staying by the phone. It's like staying in the house. So I went to the public school, and they say, yeah, we need one right away. I said, I'm here. And I've been there, and it's going on 4 years.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good. So,
and it's helping me.
right.
My bones and everything, the walk and everything.
Right.
Yeah, it's helping my health.
I think most of us growing up were taught how to kind of make your own money, save money for the future. My dad always says, put the money in the bank, put money in the bank and save and save. So we always all had our own money. I think I was 11 years old when I started babysitting, and that's where I started making my own money. And then from there I waitressed. And you did the same thing.
I
Yeah. We were always taught, yeah.
I was
And it was
started
25
babysitting when I
cents
was 8
an hour
years
at
old.
the time. 25 cents to babysit.
I don't know if you remember the Henderson. He was a police
Yep.
officer. Yeah,
Yep.
I babysat his kids.
Okay.
Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to go to the side. When I came back from Montreal and they said they're going to do babysitting course, I said, what?
Yeah. Now today you need a course for that.
Right, they
to
just
babysit.
they just had one a couple of weeks ago. They had a lady come from Thunder Bay and teach a babysitting course.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
was shocked.
I guess parents are a little bit more demanding or leery of people who just say I'm a babysitter. So
Okay.
that's why they do have the courses.
But we did dishes for them and everything. We did clean up, vacuumed if we had to, and that. Because if the kids are sleeping or something like that,
It was long.
yeah. And we only had one channel on TV.
Channel 2.
Channel 2. And at home there
The little
also.
black TV,
Yeah,
black
that
and white
big.
TV, yeah.
And after supper, they either put it on the table, my parents,
Yeah.
or in their bedroom. And if we
This
wanted
is
to
it.
watch a movie like Bonanza or something like that, we'd get out of our bunk beds and we'd sneak around and sit on the floor while they're sleeping.
And watch TV. Because
Yeah.
they used to leave the TV on all night long.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it made that sound until Dad sometimes heard that sound or Mom, then they turned it off. But as long as there was something on,
Yeah.
even if they fell asleep, we'd sneak in and
Yeah, oh,
watch
yeah.
TV.
That was an alarm clock. That was good.
So actually, I mean, as much as sometimes were hard times, you had lots of memories.
Oh, yeah.
Good memories of
yeah.
growing up in a big family.
Yeah, I remember my time. Marion, it was her turn to have a bath, and she ticked me off. She was in that big bucket.
Yeah.
She says, Diane, I need some help to get up. I said, yeah, you need help? Okay, I'll help you. To be
Start
honest,
the-
I picked her up and I let her go.
She's
I
made a
said,
mess.
now I got
yeah.
you back. But I can't say it now because you're taking this other thing. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but I mean, you must have had lots of good
Oh,
times.
I
Oh
love
yeah,
it.
we
Love
played.
it.
We all the whole family would sit at the table. I guess at that time we played cards. We
Right.
played Monopoly. It was a. But today now the kids they're on their computer or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like the family get-togethers the
Right.
way it used to be. But
But you
I
know,
find it.
So do you think as young people like that, you ever went to restaurants to eat then? Or you must have.
No.
Or you didn't, but you knew Mary was a restaurant. But
Yes,
you never
yeah.
went out as a family to eat.
No.
No, something.
Couldn't, and it's not in that we couldn't even afford, because I remember my mom was a little scared because she had to charge at Sechner's for all the bread and everything.
Right.
We had to drink instead of milk. We had powder milk,
Milk, right?
Yes.
or carnation milk.
Yeah.
We diluted it.
with water. Yeah.
So a lot of things, and every time my dad had it, she'd mark down what she had to pay and everything.
Oh yeah.
The odd time,
Every penny
my-
that had.
I had that, yeah. But the odd time, the Nipigon Inn was open. They'd go to the show, my mom and dad, and they'd buy us these chocolate bars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with nuts in them. You don't get them anymore. And then they go down to Nipigon Inn and have a drink.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they
Drink
come
and
home.
and give
Yeah.
us all this
Yeah.
one chocolate or popcorn sometimes.
She
Yeah.
wasn't, I don't think she was born yet. But anyways, when that one time happened, we were babysit by Colette Pelche.
Oh,
And they were good friends, my mom and them, hey?
right.
Until she got that habit of cutting hair. So she sat me down and cut my hair. So I had nice curly blonde hair. Well, that was the last time she babysat, and that was the last time she came to the house. Says, you do not touch my children's hair or anything.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she was so upset. But my mom, always at nighttime, when we're all sleeping, she used to take a face cloth, and it comes to, and she always comes around, checks out, and says, "Love you, and see you in the morning." But then in the morning, when it was time, we had to get up at 6, 7 o'clock. After my dad went to work, she woke us up. But she'd take a face cloth and go to every one of us and play.
Yeah. Play. Yeah.
And
Just
we had
to wake
get
us up. Yeah.
To wake us up. She wouldn't say it's time to get up or not. She'd put that in our face. Yeah.
wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But she was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of things. Now
Yeah.
I just thought of something I forgot I was going to ask you. Anyway, you were talking about Sea Cadets.
Sea Cadets,
Because
yeah.
you were in Sea Cadets, Lorrie.
Yes. Diane went to Renette's.
No.
That's right.
No.
You did.
The Sea Cadets, just before I left Nipigon,
Exactly.
I went to the public school and I saw all these Sea Cadets, only guys. There was only guys at that time. And I says, when are you going to have it for, I said, I'd like to join. They says, well, we have to wait a year or two because we don't have enough for the girls and that. I said, but I'm one of them. I want to join. But you have to be a Rainess and that. But then with all that thing that happened to me at the high school and that, I went to Montreal. And then when I came down on holidays, I found out that Larry went to Sea Cadets and Roy
I
and
went-
Lorrie. And they didn't call
And
it Sea
Rosie,
Cadets.
there's 4 of us.
Yeah, they didn't call for the girls Sea Cadets. They called the girls
Redheads.
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 Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was so disappointed. I says, if I would have known 2 years, I would have stayed. Because then I would have been in the army and everything. Because I was really enjoying. I was watching them and every day. They were wondering why I was always there.
Now, I did hear you comment about a citizenship or something.
Yes.
That was Hans?
Hans, Marion, my mom and dad, they became Canadian citizens
Okay.
the
Yeah.
same day.
Did they have to take lessons for that? I can't.
Yes, they had to take lessons. They had to read up on. They were given books that they had to read up on, and then they were questioned, and they had to give the answers, and then they were all.
Because the judge used to come down, didn't he, from Thunder Bay to
Yeah.
give citizenship to them.
Yeah.
That was good then. And I just see this is at the Lutheran church, right?
Yes.
Okay, and this picture here, that's when Rosie got baptized.
Yeah.
Oh.
This one is with Rosie being
Yeah.
baptized.
We all walked to church to be baptized. We didn't.
yeah,
They
yeah,
didn't carry us.
yeah,
No, okay, I just see that there and realize that's the Lutheran church.
yeah. There's a picture there that with their citizenship, there was.
No. Rosie has it, I think.
No, yeah, but this,
No.
I don't see that one there.
No, all four
Anyway,
of them. No.
Oh, okay.
no,
Oh, that is my mom's sister.
who came to visit from Germany?
Yes.
Yes.
Aunt Ellie and her brother Klaus,
Klaus?
and her sister Giddy.
Yeah.
I went to Germany 3 times.
I went
Did
once.
you?
I went the first year I went with my husband Norman. Then I took Diane the second time. Then the third time Norman and I went again.
Oh,
3
wow.
So I went 3 years in a row. I was trying to get them to come here.
You still have relatives then in Germany?
Oh, yes. We still,
Mostly
So we were just discussing the fact that Lorrie and Diane have relatives still in Germany then. Are you ever in contact with them?
all the time.
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time. I
Yeah.
still write. I'm going to be sitting down this week and I'm going to be writing out Christmas cards. We call each other.
Okay.
I already sent mine this week.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, that's
that's
good.
good.
That's good then,
Yeah.
because it's nice that you could keep contact with your relatives.
Yeah.
And this mostly on your mom's side, you said?
Okay, yes, everybody, yeah, just on my
Yeah.
mom's side, on my dad's side, because dad was brought up by his aunt. I don't know what happened, we don't know exactly what the story
Okay.
was, that dad ended up with the aunt. And I think from there, that's why he was brought up so strict by the aunt.
Okay.
So we only knew mom and dad's.
Yeah.
And also, when mom and dad had Hans and Marion, dad came here for that year, and Aunt Ellie and my grandmother, they said to mom, Dad, mom, you can stay. Don't go, stay here, and we'll help you raise Hans and Marion. 'Cause Dad got a little rough already, starting to get just a little abusive. So they says, stay here and we'll help you raise Hans and Marion. Don't go, don't leave. But Mom loved our dad very
Right.
much, that she came to Canada and she never was able to go back again.
Oh, she wasn't there.
No.
Oh, okay.
So we had Aunt Ellie that came down that one year, and Dad tried to be a little smartass, and he says to her,
What do you mean?
you're not going back to Germany. We're going to keep you here.
Oh.
So, but when she got on that plane, she never did come back. She got so scared she never came back.
Because my dad wanted to marry her.
Yeah, he always teased my mom, our
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
If anything happens to mom, I'm going to marry you.
Yeah.
And so when our mom
Yeah.
did pass away, not too long after
Yeah.
that, he did call her up and asked her to marry her.
Yeah.
And she want nothing to do with my dad.
Oh, there.
Family things. Amy.
Yeah.
What's this picture of?
That's all the Sea Cadets. Mostly all the Sea Cadets.
at that time. Larry,
Yeah.
I think Larry's in
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
Zach, take a
Roy.
picture of this
That's
one. This
all-
actually all the sea cadets we had
Imagine
here.
One at
all
the
them.
beginning.
There
Yeah.
was quite a few of them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we had.
Yeah.
We had a group of sea
Yeah.
cadets and Renettes at the time. Oh my
Wow.
God.
Yeah, there was a. Who was that?
There was
No, the one that we used to. He's got one son living, two sons living. Evans.
Evans.
Oh,
Mr. Evans.
Oh, Gar Evans.
Yeah,
Gar
the
Evans?
Right.
father.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Evans.
Wow.
And there was Mr. Boyd.
Yeah.
Oh yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta take a
And then
picture
there
of
was there was what's his name? There's another one.
Tony Peel was active in that.
Yes, Tony Peel.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
That's
my God.
There was a lot.
Yeah, and now I don't even know if there's any secrets now.
Just starting again, they've got about 4 or 5.
Okay.
3 girls for sure, because they took part in the Remembrance Day service.
Oh.
But yeah, just
Our
starting up again. Then,
Our
Lori.
sister-in-law was an officer.
Joanne.
Joanne Nietzschman.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right.
she's.
I don't know if she's in it anymore. We don't.
No, I
talk
don't
to
think
them.
so.
I don't
no
know if she's
anymore, but-
doing it anymore, but
No,
yeah.
no.
But the year that I decided not to become to quit because I turned 18, and then I left to go to Montreal. My dad received a call that if I had stayed, I would have been shipped out to Germany.
Oh.
If I would have stayed in with that and went into the real
Right.
Yeah, that's.
the thing, Dad always wanted me to
Yeah.
go into the Navy.
Ah.
That's
But
why
instead, I
went.
went to Montreal
Oh,
instead.
That's
Right.
where I would have went if they at that time when they had that. I
Right.
would have stayed in the Navy.
Yeah.
My life would be completely different. Yeah,
Okay.
but the things
You
happen.
guys have lots of good memories and lots of information. That's
Lots.
for sure.
Oh yeah, it was
I'm glad that
too
you
bad
don't-
the families aren't like that. In some ways, family wise,
Right,
today it's like
Yeah.
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 Okay. Thank you very much.